Okay, so there's something we need to talk about here. First, let's go to ticket service. So here we have an API right here for post mapping. We send user ID and room ID up. Let's take a look at the database. Close this guy out. So I have account and room. Account we have one and two. Room we have five. Okay. So that is the idea of this one. So for example, I will use two in our example here. So we're gonna send a post request. At the body, we have a file data here, and what we gonna do is put in the parameter. So room is one and user ID is two. So when we send it to the server, we see look for the error here. So not enough money to make a payment. So if you look at this, nothing changed, right? So why it's happened like that? So we need to take a look at bucket java.31. So I throw this arrow here because why? Because so it try to find the user and we check if the cost is actually has more than that. So if you want to take a look at this, you can just now print it. So we have the account get deposit and cost. So let's clear this one now. Let's clear this again and return another request. So the receive command is actually inside the account here, inside broker receiver. And I don't know why it doesn't print anything out. There could be a reason for that because I forgot to print my line. Let's run it again. Yeah. So we should have an equal here. So, but even it fails, it should return an error right away, right? It's just not only throw the message. So like this, if I continue to run this, if we continue to say it's not has enough money. So unless I have an equal here, which is should running now. Now it still takes some time. Okay, but if I check it out in here, deposit is two, and room is 4, which is okay to me. So if I want to edit this one, put it to 200. Say no, apply, close. So similar with this guy, we just edit it, click the 10 or something like that, apply it. So let's run this again. So it's success. Success again. So if we select this one, so the point is that it's just not respond to the it, and we couldn't create any ticket ID and user ID here. So that's problem with this guy. We can continue, run it twice, 4 times like this. See, but here's the thing: I don't know why there's bug up there. Now, what happens if I continue to run it until there's no seat left? So now there's no seat left. Now it's failed. Not enough seat, as you can see. So which is an okay here to me. So the only thing left that I have to finish is we need to go to ticket where we receive the data from the entity. So here's this automatically update, but we need another thing, which is the room ID that we haven't created yet. I think this is important because we just need another thing called room ID. Yeah. So let's run this again. It's failed because it's the Renacida is not our things. The kit is still running fine despite its exception. So everything is happened here. Is check if it could be just brown here because the result is not done. So we can just system out print it. It's done, and we will get it right away. Pretty sure it's failed. Yeah. So here it's failed. So it's not gonna do it. So unless it's true, then we will call service and restore it into the entity. So the idea is very simple. I just uh, use this repository, right? How to write it. And we have a repo here. So this one is basically we need to create an account. We need to create a ticket or something like that, which has user ID and a room ID. So is this basically the final service we need to add? Set it. So if you go to here and you select the ticket, now if I run this again, it's failed obviously uh, because we don't have an approved. I don't know why there's so many ants in my room here, so I should. So let's just add here, apply it, close. So go to ticket here and let's change it. Okay. So here's issue date, pretty correct. Yeah. So of course we can still throw on duplication. For example, like if I use user ID that's not there, then it should throw fail away right away, and there should be a message. Yeah, I got that far. So that's pretty much it. So the message between them should be, they have to be acknowledged of each other. They have know that what message they are about to respond to and what they will receive, so we can make sure we detach the value correctly. So here I'm gonna see to my project and upload the final version on it. So let's go demo Saga 2. So now we need to go back to what we need to do. My current project is about library management system. So if you talk about that, the management system is a kind of a project where I will going to. So let's go to project first, and we will talk about that. Sorry, just a bit of instruction here. So here in Spring we have the demo here. I have an LMS practice, so it should not be here. Actually, it should be outside of it. But if you take a look at the source, okay, I will be back. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm just not going to. So now it's about. So I have this stop. Uh, as you can see up here, I have finished almost all everything. Now there's nothing I need to make sure to working on it, which is um, the desktop application. It will have a special process after its installation. Is enter the code, and another thing we need to make sure is the code is being confirmed here. So after it's being confirmed, the next move is to receive their um, to receive their password. So this means their password will be stored on the server. So here's the thing: if I store that password on the servers, um, then the question is, we are doing with fat client or thin client. So I thinking it should be fat client. So the servers has only one thing is to validate the copyright of the product key. So this means I will have to have a method. So whenever user opens um, the program, they will have to check if the if the application is valid. So they must send to the server. Okay. Um, so okay. So here's the thing. After the user confirm their emails successfully, then at the client side, I planning that they will um, have a secret key, and so whenever so we will need somehow to decrypt that. So I think I will use something called bcrypt. So bcrypt is one-way scripting. So, so let's take a look at that. So the way it gives, simply uh, so bcrypt, it could be used on both server and client. It has no limitation on this. So I'm gonna install this one to test the usability of this. So bcrypt is the very important factors. I'm gonna create a file to test this method out. Um, I will have something called authorized service. Or just our service is enough. Women, not all of them are smart enough to understand what I say. I'm not sure what is so rouse. It's like amount of, you know, I want to keep everything as short as possible, but it's just not gonna work like that, the way I expect. So here I'm just gonna put in a random text, something like that. Then I will have something like that. So I can just cd to the service and note our service. Yeah, constant. So this looking like that. Now the question is, there are two ways to store the data in the servers. To decrypt a special key, I must do the key. So on the client side, it should be decrypt twice. So the first time is just to secure the password. The second time is to unlock the data. So it will be decrypt twice. For example, like I have function like this. So here's a function which should return the data here. But since we're not gonna do that, Okay, so some people are chatting with me right now. I'm just not gonna let them stay alone in this. Pause the video a bit, but actually I will chat on my phone. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm thinking about encrypt about what is the difference between 11 and 10, right? Actually, 10 is enough, but my question is, does this generate new password every time? Yeah, fucking, it's actually different, but that's not a method here, which is the promise. So I prefer things more. So here you can see that we have the hash here, right? So here is the result which I expect to have that result. So that is working correctly. this will be a string. So here's my plan. I'm not sure about the how do you do that, but on the client side, it should encrypt the data that received from the servers. So first thing we need to secure password. So I will have some um, just not more not only be quick. There's a lot of so yes, it's very good one. So RSA is pretty nice one too. If you talk about RSA, it's one of the very good algorithm. So they can decrypt it, but to decrypt it, you will need this one to decrypt. But so I don't think it's still safe enough. I want one way encrypt method. I'm not sure if they have private key here. I still need to respond to her. Okay, so I still want to find a best way to to keep everything simple. So here's the thing. I will keep the same idea. I'm gonna use MD5 something like that. So something that constant. So here's the thing I can think about SSA npm. So it's a quite a good one. So when I send to server, what I expect is it must be secure. On the way go to the servers, all the data is stored in the body request. Moreover than that, the password should be unable to decrypt. That's what I want exactly. So that raw data in the client side is okay. So it will be stored along with the encrypted data that is being encrypted. So this means the data will be encrypted, right? So by ESC, AES, AES will store use encrypted passwords are the key to encrypt all the things. So when I send this to the servers, um, I must store along with those keys. So I must send it to servers. But the question is, okay, so I need to clear my head out a little bit. So there are two things I need to working on. First is ES we would use maybe SLA password. Okay, and the second parameter is the string itself. So those string should be just a string, single string. So this one is very important. It has user information on it, but yeah. So so when I have this one, this one will transform to yes. So when I want to send it to server, I must send two things. I must send this to servers. So to the servers, I send a secure password here, and I also send the string yes. So I can decrypt this one and check for the password as well. So SHA password. Um, so this SHA password should be kept another time. Yeah. So it will go with this one, decrypt it, and then it will be used to check for the credential inside the database. So that's the idea that I'm thinking about. So here we will take a moment here just to demonstrate that. I'm just gonna install this one because it seems to be quite easy to use. So let's save it. So sometimes the data flow is quite easy to understand if you understand how to use that. I will have a demonstration on the client side and the server side at the same time. So let's go here and we will import it. So here I have the password. Okay. And I have the data will be you know email is pro code product key is like 4 8. So those are product key. So here the most important thing is I must SHA the password first. So actually they will not generate the password right away. They must send the passwords to the servers. I must encrypt it with SSA first. So SSA is something like this. So you can log this one now and we will understand what it's about. So we have K1. Now we're talking about AES, which is something I probably have already installed. Let me check with my package JSON. Haven't installed it yet. This is like this one, so I'm not sure what it's about. pretty easy to use. So I'm gonna reuse this right away. It's gonna require it. So we're gonna create key pair for that. So we have v1 will equal to, and this. The idea is very simple. We have k1 here and the credential. So when I use this, I got this one. So if I decrypt it, this one, and decrypt it, uh, and with this one, I will probably resign myself with correct kata, so which is perfect, which is perfect. So that is current side. So when we combine this together, I will just need another time here. To the key will be this one, combined with this one. So it's like unbreakable algorithm. But it's so the idea is I will need to split first out, um, throw a string before the first one, and the last one is where I will just have a string. So in the client side, I need to store this in a file, something like that. And when I send it to server, server must be able to split this one out and split this one out, and then start decrypt it and start validate it. So unless some people can um, actually, if someone can actually able to reverse engineering my program and turn off the feature of authentication and copyright confirmation validation, then I cannot do that too much because I have no features, apply features. So that is just simple way to validate it. So now I need to route the flow. Yeah, client side, that's all they need. So on the server side, here's the server side. So we have password, the same idea. Real password will be encrypted. Okay, so here's where this come in. So the real password here will be the K1 here actually, and then I will need to compare it with the So this is in the database, right? If I must get data from the database, then I check the password of it, and then we will store it into the. We will check if it's correct password. So so actually before I do that, I must split this one now. Like this one. I must be able to decrypt it. Let's just use this one. So the key is the key here is key one here, and then the value is v1. Okay, so that's the idea. And then I will split it out, check the data, match all those three things to make sure it's correct. And then yeah. So the question is, if I copy that file to another place, could it be correct? So on the local computer, I must be able to get MAC address, but MAC address is not enough. I need something only local computer could do that. You know, because I worry that if you copy that file to another place and the computer file somewhere, then it's still. So here each computer is assigned with only one MAC address. I have no idea how do they use this, but in Electron JS probably has a way to do that. This one working pretty well actually, which is a great thing. So to be honest, I have no idea how to solve these problems, but I put my faith on this one actually. So let's just gonna install that. So here we're just gonna take a look at the sample of this one. Not sure it's work, but we got this one. Quite working quite well actually. So the second value is different every time. I have to be honest with you that the thing that is not different is the decay, which is okay to me. So when someone sends this to the servers for no matter what the reasons. So here's the thing, I'm just gonna check for this one. So so here's the thing, I don't actually understand how how these things work. But like you can see that it generates every time the new things, and have to make sure that no matter what, even if it contains now findable, if I decrypt this with this value findable like the O1, could it could it be okay? So every time they have a new encryption method, and they return a special key for that. They just return the new value and we encrypt the new one. So the password is actually constant and it's not update. I'm not sure is that a good thing or not, because if someone can hack into the computer or in the user class application, it's going to a bad side. So I think even that I could just remove this one, and when I hash it, hash this one, and compared to the servers, it has to be the same. So that must be the idea of this one. And even if I hash this one and I send it to the servers, so the first thing is I share a hash password to the servers, and it cannot be unhashed. The next time I type in the password, um, it must be validate with the local password. So can I decrypt this one? My question is, could I decrypt SSA1? Holy shit. Okay, so if I decrypt this one, could I? Holy shit. So how can I make one-way hashing? One-way hashing. I'm very tired right now, to be honest. I'm fucking tired right now. And I have no idea how to, make things work the way I want. It's very confusing. And so what the fuck is so? Because you know what? So is something we use for hash MD5, and people can actually decrypt it. So I'm not sure what the system is, because we want things as much difficult as we can, because if we decrypt that, it's gonna be so difficult, to be honest. So I'm not sure what the system put here. What the fuck is that? We have to store here, which is great, but is that enough? The password is so easy to use here. We turn it to MD5 or something like that. We put this shit in here. We have unique value, which both client and server share the same shit, and then the flow is just going on like that. Let's check for that. Okay, so system boot is just the way we printed the shit down. It's quite simple, and so I can see the random unit strings, which is to be the password of the system. So that's how we do it. So SSA 512 npm, which is another library, and it has no different. I could try to put it into a hex function or something like that, and the point is that what about the key? We should have a key, right? Key to encrypt it. So let me take a moment and go to the bed. I sleep a bit because I'm a bit very tired right now. I'll be right back. I turn on the sky first. So